Hey, what's going on guys? Today I will be reviewing our first Grand Hero Archer, Clarisse, then we'll take a look at some skill sets that you can use on her. At the very end, I do have an almost free to play Infernal run, but I had to use the only 4-star Dano I had, which is plus attack. And if you copy that strategy to the very T, you cannot beat it using a neutral Dano even with plus attack seals and own attack 3. So for that reason, I didn't want to upload it as its own video. Anyways, let's begin by reviewing Clarisse. She is a free to play unit, so she does not come with any IVs. Her max stats are 37 HP, 31 attack, 34 speed, 25 defense, and 20 resistance. The stats that really matter on archers are attack and speed. She's obviously worse than Cordelia. The best comparison would be Klein and Virian. Klein's base attack is 31 and speed is 33, but since he can get IVs, he can be better or worse. Plus speed, Virian has 31 attack and 34 speed, which is exactly the same as Clarisse. He is portrayed by most of the community as a terrible archer, but his offensive stats aren't that bad. The issue with him is that he's just simply outclassed. Her speed is pretty high, so she won't get doubled by that many heroes. She can usually survive one hit. For a free to play unit, the stats are fair. They aren't anything to be wowing over. She's pretty well rounded, and I would rank her somewhere in the middle among the archers in terms of stats. She comes with a new weapon called Clarisse's Bow. It has 11 might and its effect is the same as Female Corn's Dark Breath. After this unit attacks, foes within 2 spaces of target suffer attack and speed -5 through their next actions. The might is on the low side and it obviously has a supportive effect. It probably fits her just right because if you look at all her other abilities, it seems to fit into her playstyle, a lot of debuffs and supportive skills. This weapon isn't bad for a select few archers out there. The one that first came to mind is Faye. Her special is Glimmer, grants 50% to damage dealt. Glimmer is not a good special, just so there's no confusion. It's not like Draconic Aura where the bonus damage comes from the unit's total attack. Glimmer takes 50% of damage dealt, so if the unit were to deal 20 damage to an enemy, when Glimmer activates, it takes 50% of 20, which is 10. So the extra damage will fluctuate depending on how much defense the enemy has, which ultimately translates to how much damage you will be dealing. Less enemy defense, more Glimmer damage, more defense, less damage. Poison Strike is her B skill. It's a good default skill to have for a ranged hero, and even better if you want to go for a supportive route where you just want Clarisse to just chunk, debuff, and just allow your teammates to have an easier time to finish off enemies. Since she has this skill in her arsenal already, a build that can go is the Fire Sweep one with Poison Strike and Savage Blow. Her C skill is Threaten Defense, so just with her default kit alone, she can lower enemies' attack, speed, and defense by 5. That's a lot of debuffs. Threat defense is better on a tanky melee unit who can debuff enemies for many turns, but you can still definitely use this skill on a squishy ranged hero. You just have to predict the enemy's movements in order to get the debuff off. And yeah, her attack isn't the best thing out there, so the defense debuff will definitely help her a lot. As a standalone archer, I think she can earn a spot on someone's team, especially if you don't have Cordelia, Takumi, Klein, or even George. She can deal decent chip damage with Poison Strike, and her bow's effect with Threat defense adds a lot of utility on the battlefield. She's put in the same situation as Virian. It's better to inherit expensive skill sets on the archers I just mentioned a little bit ago, but she comes with a lot of good skills already that can help out a newer player that doesn't have the resources to create an expensive offensive archer through skill inheritance. That was my review on Clarisse, and now let's discuss about some builds. For a budget set, give her a movement assist like drawback or reposition, Luna, and darting blow. The goal of this set isn't to make her a killing machine, but more of a support. Like I said in the review, her base set adds a lot of utility on a team. The -5 attack and speed from the bow helps your team's offense and defense. It can prevent double attacks, and on the flip side, it can allow your units to double enemies that they couldn't before. But not only is she applying the weapon debuff, she's going to do decent chip damage thanks to Poison Strike and Threaten defense. Darting blow is only listed here because it's cheap and fairly accessible. You can always use other skills like Death Blow, Fury, Life and Death, and Swift Sparrow. Even Armor Blow with Bonfire could work, but it would only cushion attacks against distant counter enemies. Think of it like a budget wind sweep, but still having access to Poison Strike. This set is going to cost exactly 1200 SP. Focus on getting an A slot skill first, then work your way onto the other two. This build has the same focus as the previous one, just trying to find ways to allow Clarisse to safely activate her combat effects, and Wind Sweep is the perfect skill for that. She's got great base speed, so trying to activate Wind Sweep shouldn't be a problem, especially if you give her skills like Swift Sparrow, Life and Death, Darting Blow, or Speed +3 in the A slot. Luna's 3 charge cooldown might be a little bit too long for a Wind Sweep build since she has to attack 4 times in order to activate it, so having a dancer with this set is almost required. Otherwise, Moonbow is a great alternative. And lastly, Savage Blow is a very useful skill to go along with Wind Sweep to safely chip surrounding enemies, especially if you are facing a distant counter armor emblem team. This is one hella expensive build. Its total cost is 2,445 and RIP Elm. Third build is a fire sweep set. With this set, she's able to bypass all the counter attack skills like Vantage, Quick Riposte, Breakers, and safely attack into distant counter foes. Again, you should definitely pair her up with a Dancer because she's able to two-shot most enemies except for armored units with Warrior Fighting. However, this set is still very good against Armor Emblem teams because of Savage Blow. You will just have to kite around by using a Dancer or someone with reposition or drawback. I would only go with this set if you lack a really good offensive archer, but for those who like to buff up and use their favorite heroes, the option is there. This set also costs over 2400 SP. Typically it will cost more since no other archers come with Poison Strike, but since she does, it will cost you 630 less. Alright, the last build is of course one of the most generic builds in the game, the quad set. Just like the fire sweep set, only go with this set if you do not have any good archers and desperately need a quad archer for whatever reason. The results are 90 wins, 2 losses, and in desperation, 91 wins and 8 losses. A lot of people are wondering which free-to-play archer is the better Brave user. Is it Clarisse or Setsuna? But they always forget Varian. Setsuna comes up on top, then Varian, and then Clarisse. In fact, plus attack Varian can take out Hector without using desperation or any kind of debuff. Clarisse, on the other hand, needs to use threat and defense in order to kill Hector, Ryoma, Lucina, Olivia, Ike, Xander, Camus, and Takumi. Personally, I don't think it's worth giving her Brave Bow or Fire Sweep Bow, but the option is there if you want to pimp out your favorite waifu. This set costs exactly the same as the Fire Sweep set, 2475 SP. Overall, Clarisse isn't a bad hero, however, she's nowhere near Xander or Camus's level of greatness. You should definitely try to build around her default skills because her base skills are excellent and her bow is what makes her really stand out. Now I'm going to show you guys my almost free to play Infernal run. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Got it. Yes. Glad to help. As you will. Yes.
Okay.
Well, well. Shall we?
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
As you will. Oh. Well.
Sure.
Got it. Glad to help. Yes. Whoa.
Okay.
Well. Well, well. Got it.
All right.
Shall we? Whoa. Yes. As you will. Yes.
Sure.
As you will. Well. Well, well. Got it. Shall we? Whoa.